Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rochelle. I am a 23-year-old YouTuber who loves to make videos about my life, about my travels, and a bit about everything, to be honest. So in this video, as you'll already know from the title, I'm going to be teaching you how you can get your very first remote job. Now, before I get into this video, the reason I'm making this video at all is because 2020 was going to be my year to travel Bali. Then COVID happened. Because of COVID, obviously none of my original travel plans could go to plan. But whilst I was in Bali, I stayed at Dojo Co-Living, which is a workspace for entrepreneurs who work remotely. I saw all these people living in Bali and working full-time, getting paid a full-time wage, and I decided that is the life that I want to lead. I don't want to compromise work for travel. Why can't I do both at the same time? And that leads me to this video. Because I have my fair share of trial and error, I've compiled for you a list that I think are the best ways to help you get your first remote job. And yes, I finally can say that I've got my own remote job in the pipeline, and I am so excited and grateful for it. Okay, I'll stop talking and we can get into the video now. What is a remote job? A remote job is when you are employed by a company and you're not necessarily working in a traditional office environment. So this means basically your job is location independent. You can work from wherever you want. The degree of flexibility for a remote job completely varies job to job. Some jobs will want you to work, the typical time zone that you're in, even if you're in a different country. Other jobs are more flexible. They might say to you, depending on the country you're in, we'll change your hours. Or as long as you work 8 hours a day, we don't care what time you work those hours. Those jobs are better for people who want to travel across multiple time zones. And it's something that I was looking into because I want to spend a lot of time in Bali, which is like hours different from the UK. The first step I'm going to advise you is be clear on what you want. Do you know what job you want to do remotely? Do you have an area of expertise that you know can be done from wherever? You don't need to be physically based to carry out this service. If you're unsure, like I was, I decided to go into customer support because this is a very generic job. It's not something like graphic designing where you need a specific skill, or coding. Programming and coding are very popular remote jobs because they're very highly skilled and you just need a laptop. If you don't necessarily have an area of expertise like coding, you need to really think about what you can apply yourself to. So for me, because I had a university degree and lots of admin experience, customer support was the avenue I decided to go for. So that's my bit of advice. If you have an area of expertise, perfect. That will be much easier and less competitive for you to apply to. If you're not totally sure, have a think. But know that this avenue might take a little bit longer because you're less specialised. If you want to become more specialised, why not try interning or doing some work experience for free in that field? Or even doing online courses to develop your skills. Step 2. Yes, you need a CV and a cover letter. The dreaded cover letter. Now, I recommend the site CV Maker for your CV. It's the one I use because it's kind of more attractive. It's got more of an attractive look and you can pick between the different styles that you want. I've used CV Maker for many years now, so I'm sure there are other amazing CV ones out there, so do take a look online, but that is just the one I use and I love. Once you've got your CV together in order of your most relevant first, you're going to need a cover letter. Now, if you're not sure about cover letters, have a look online or look specifically for your job role plus cover letter into Google. For example, if you're going for customer support, you could Google customer support cover letter to kind of get ideas of what you should be putting in yours. When I was applying to loads of jobs, I actually had a base cover letter written in my notes on my laptop. And then for each job that I applied to, I would look at the necessary specifications and I would make sure, okay, let me just include that line in here. And I would alter it. So even though I would have a base one, so I'm not necessarily writing different things each time, I had a base one which I altered to make individual to the jobs I was applying to. This only works, obviously, if you're only applying to the same jobs. If I'm applying to customer support and then data analytics, my cover letters are going to be completely different. But if you're applying to the same job, more or less, within the same roles, you can write a cover letter and then make sure to alter it for what that specific job wants to hear. In this cover letter, don't be afraid to write at the end, I am looking for a flexible working opportunity because I love to travel, but I also want to deliver, you know, a great value to the company, or something like that. Don't be scared to write what you really want. I think that a lot of employers see that as very honest, transparent, and passionate. Likewise, I actually included something like that in my personal statement at the top of my CV, saying that I'm a keen traveller and I'm looking for something that's really going to enhance my quality of life whilst providing, you know, great work for a company. Now, if this is all a bit overwhelming, you've never done a CV, you've never done a cover letter, or maybe you have those things, but how can I apply that to a remote job? I'm going to recommend a website to you. It's called It's a Travel OD. So this lady actually offers courses on how to find remote jobs, but she also, if you're not looking to, you know, invest a lot of money, she also offers a service to remotify your resume. So you can actually send her your details and she will help you make it remote based. My third bit of advice is to make sure that you're being consistent. At the moment, I'm filming this during COVID 2020, so the demand for a remote job is arguably higher than ever. People are having to stay at home to keep themselves safe, and we're all looking for ways to make money from the internet. That is an OnlyFans. Am I right? Am I right? No hate to OnlyFans, but just not for me. So my advice is be persistent in your pursuit. There are thousands of people going for the same positions, but if at the end of the day you want a flexible lifestyle, it's worth the wait. So my last golden nugget of advice that I've learned through trial and error is where to find these jobs and how to apply to them. You can't typically find the best opportunities on your regular job sites. So there are in fact a couple remote job boards that I'm going to recommend to you now, and ones that I have personally used. So number one is It's a Travel OD. I mentioned this girl before, and on her site she actually has a remote job directory where she updates remote jobs there. That being said, I think because it's just her personally, these don't get updated as regularly as other sites. The next job site I'm going to recommend to you is weworkremotely.com. This is supposedly the largest job site directory on the web and has 2 million monthly visitors. That being said, that kind of accounts somewhat to how competitive these jobs might be if it's got such large exposure, so just take that into account. The next website I would recommend is flexjobs.com, which I believe you have to pay for, but they do offer a free trial. This job site has far more filters and categories than any of the other job boards. You can filter by things like schedule. Do you want part-time, full-time, flexible hours? Do you want to be a subcontractor or an employee? What country are they recruiting in? And then obviously your usual what category of job. The next site is dynamitejobs.com. I really like this site because I found that they had a lot more jobs that weren't listed on the other sites. So this was a very good site to look at. So they actually have a thing called the Dynamite Circle. And this is a hub for entrepreneurs. You can apply to be a part of this hub. I'm sure you have to pay for it, but it's a way for these entrepreneurs to connect, to network, to mastermind. And because of this, they actually list their own job vacancies only on this site. You'll know if a job has been listed by someone in the Dynamite Circle, because at the bottom of the job application, or you know when you see it in the screen, it'll say work for a DCer. And for the longest time I was like, what is a DCer? I tried to Google it, but it's just an abbreviation for their specific Dynamite Circle. So if you see that and you're not sure what it means, it just means you're working for one of their own entrepreneurs in the hub. The next three sites I'm going to list are very similar. You can organise just by the job category, and I'm pretty sure they kind of look similar, they're based on similar things, so I do find that these three have very similar listings. So this would be remote.co, nodesk.co and remoteok.io. And then lastly, if you're still looking and you want to, you know, broaden your horizons even more, check Indeed.com. I personally don't like using generic job sites because the listings aren't as flexible to remote work as I would ideally like, but I have noticed on Indeed.com, if you type in a job, there is now an option that says remote. So you can always check there, and you can always type in work from home. That seems to really be listed more than remote on that site. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. This is a video that I wish I would have seen when I had started my job search, and that's why I wanted to package it nice and pretty just for you. Please give this video a thumbs up, it really helps the YouTube algorithm, and comment down below if you found this advice useful, if you work for a remote job, and if you're searching for a remote job. Let me know, what stage of the remote job cycle you are in. And also, if you have any suggestions of videos that you want me to make regarding this topic, please leave it down below. And don't forget to subscribe, because I post 2 videos a week and you wouldn't want to miss another groundbreaking video like this one. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that little bell. Okay, I'm gonna breathe now. Thank you guys so much. Love you lots. I'll see you in the next one.